To game number 3 here. We're going to be on Entombed Valley to kick things off. So day 9, why don't you take it away?
Up in the top right corner from Spain, showing a lot of flair in the series today and may be able to secure a win in first place in Group D. It is VortiX.
And spawning down in the bottom right-hand corner here as our blue Terran, bringing a fiery game himself there in game number 2. Give it up for MTW SuperNova.
Now, these are some really interesting positions. On the map, Entombed Valley, one of the smallest maps in the entire map pool. In the closest positions on the map, VortiX now is up against a lot of threats if SuperNova decides to do some sort of early 1 or even 2 base aggression. But likewise, VortiX can do a little bit of early attacking of his own. I mean, even something as simple as like a 1 base baneling bust can be, or excuse me, 2 base baneling bust can be super threatening.
Yeah, it really can. And, I mean, considering the way in which we've seen SuperNova open, especially on Daybreak, for example, with that very early 3rd command center, then it gets a little bit dicey as to how much defense you can really establish against those early aggressionary moves. And, again, I love the word aggressionary, but I really need to kind of patent that somehow. That would be very nice.
Well, SuperNova looks like he's going for the 1-Rax expand.
Oh,
it's not going to be anything too exceptional in terms of the opening stage, and I think this is actually going to be the first opportunity we have to see a kind of straightforward match between these two, at least in the very opening stages. We've been seeing SuperNova do a little bit more of the cutesy command center first stuff, but VortiX finally going to be up against a normal 1-Rax expoer.
This is a really interesting scouting position method here for SuperNova, actually going around this arc here to be able to scout out this location. I'm pretty sure it doesn't go that way by default. As for now, the drone's going to come up here, spot that expansion, and oh no, he didn't spot it. But I mean, he's going to know with the Overlord eventually, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I mean, he really should have some sort of idea of that. He's sending the second Overlord straight on down. And given that VortiX is already at 18 of 18 and really hasn't done that much saving, I would expect him to just be saying, oh yeah, I'm totally up against some sort of passive play. There's the double refinery, so it looks like it will be some type of factory-based play. SuperNova sees that there's an Overlord. This is actually quite cute. It has a little bit of consideration. Do I really want to go shoot at that? Is there going to be a drone scout running up into my main that I'll accidentally miss? I mean, you can see SuperNova aware of some of the possibilities.
Yeah, and for now, SuperNova still sharking around in his opponent's base, keeping an eye on things going on. He wants to make sure his opponent isn't throwing down those really early gas geysers. He wants to make sure that there's no super aggression coming from VortiX here in this very, very pivotal match, as both of these players looking to be able to advance on past that first round of that group, that bracket.
Kind of a cute moment. The SCV left, and immediately VortiX threw down 2 Vespene gas geysers. And with the amount of money he's saved up, I'm kind of surprised that VortiX hasn't actually built another macro hatch or even built 2 more queens.
Yeah, I mean, 2 more queens, able to bolster that front, able to get that creep spread going a little bit quicker. And the 4-queen style, very, very common right now. And, you know, the middle of this map, once again, acts like Ohana. Very easy to get that creep spread going because it's all one flat plane. And from there, you're able to really kind of gain that psychological advantage if you're poking or knocking on the door of your opponent.
Oh my gosh, it looks like VortiX is doing what could be the anti-SuperNova strat. He's going for the Roach Warren followed by Link Speed. Just did the last round of drones and a baneling nest.
Hello.
VortiX, he's just going to go for the win right here and now. And how is SuperNova going to answer? SuperNova's actually doing a good answer. He's preparing for a little bit of a push himself. Combat Shield coming up. Stim, what will it be? Combat Shield would be devastating. No, it's going to be Stim. This is really not going to help SuperNova very much.
Yep, SuperNova for now pushes out with these 2 Hellions. These 2 Hellions, if they actually poke forward for some reason without, you know, another 2 Hellions, they need to somehow find the intel here to be able to spot that Roach Warren and Baneling Nest. And look at how VortiX is rallying his units all around this arc down at the bottom, down in the east even. And for now, those Hellions looking to see if there's a third, and he's not going to spot it, so that might give him a little indication.
Yeah, this is bunker time for SuperNova. He's really got to go build that bunker.
And he's building Marauders.
Oh, this is actually an early bust play.
Uh-oh, and he sees a lot of Roaches marching across the map there with those Hellions, so he's confident in that choice to build the Marauders. Meanwhile,
there's the double bunker.
Uh-oh, this could be very bad.
But there's banelings here at the right side that have been slowly morphing in. SuperNova looks like he doesn't expect the banelings yet. Banelings just now revealing themselves. This is going to be more than enough to bust down the front door. He needs to pick off the banelings. He does manage to pick off a good number of them, but here they are darting up to the top, and see you later, bunker. And there's the bust in. VortiX is looking decent, but there's a lot of Marine Marauder here. SuperNova is designed to defend this attack.
Yeah, he somehow needed to bring down that Marauder count. He's not going to be able to do here just yet. As for now, he's microing back very, very nicely as SuperNova. That second bunker on the defensive. Very useful against these Roaches. And the aggression here for VortiX has been thwarted for now.
SuperNova with just the right answer. I mean, SuperNova doing a completely different style 3 games in a row. If SuperNova had gone for that third command center, he would be dead. This was just a meta game read from VortiX that went awry, but God, what a bold play from VortiX.
I mean, off the back of that, I mean, the fact that VortiX wasn't successful with that, SuperNova was gearing up for some aggression himself, right, with the Hellions, Marauder, Marine composition.
Oh, yeah. In fact, he's still absolutely going to do it. He has an even better reason to. He knows his opponent doesn't have speed banelings, speed Roaches. It's all just basic hatch tech, and VortiX is going to have to build a lot more Roaches if he wants to hold this off. A lot more banelings, a lot of something to deflect this push.
Yeah, and that's going to really bite into his lava count and thus potential drone count later on. Stim goes down here, though. Actually, SuperNova just going to continue to push in, trying to micro back as much as he can do. That's a lot of Roaches and a lot of Zerglings, but are they going to be able to break through this force? It looks like there's not that many Marauders left over.
SuperNova is just going to get beat down here. He has 8 Hellions, a lot of harassment potential. I mean, if VortiX leaves his base, 10 Hellions are going to walk up and just kill everything, so VortiX can't exactly leave his base, but what VortiX may very well do is just get Roach speed and go for all-in number 2. I mean, there's just not a lot of options for VortiX.
He's getting melee weapons as well as Carapace here to be able to aid those Zerglings and potential Banelings if he so desires to. But there we go, the drone sent out for the third. Yeah, so VortiX wants to play a little bit of a longer game to kick things off as the Hellions come on once again, poking away at those Zerglings. That's really, really decimating for them. They're really, really brutal. As for now, he can't actually kill those the Hellions with the Roaches because they're just gonna, you know, walk away, and he's always gonna get those free shots like that.
I mean, SuperNova is continuing to just be amazing with his aggression right up in the face of VortiX with these units, start to finish. SuperNova now backing up, going for the Marines, an extra command center and engineering bay. Look at this, SuperNova parking right outside the front. VortiX is going to try to go for a surround, but SuperNova's a little bit too alert for that.
Meanwhile, forcing the cancellation on that third there, really well done by that little bio force as SuperNova constantly bringing down that Zergling count. And actually, that's a lot of bio and Hellions. If he's not careful with those Roaches, he could bring a lot of them down, especially with Clear Reconstitution not finished yet.
But a lot of life wasted in that stim, and now we see VortiX spreading himself out. SuperNova forced to retreat a second time. Without a starport, there's really not that much that SuperNova can do. Has to pull back.
And we see centrifugal hooks as well as more Zerglings and Roaches in production here for VortiX. Plus 2 weapons going to be going down for those Zerglings and Banelings as well. And again, VortiX is in a really tight bind. SuperNova's always going to know when a third goes down because of that Hellion location, and he drops the scan to just get, you know, a little bit of extra confirmation that there's units morphing in, and he even sees, does he see the Banelings morphing in?
I mean, you can see them. I don't know if he was looking there. He scanned it, identified what was up, and in this position, SuperNova literally just needs to wall off all his fronts with supply depots and siege the tanks up right in the neck. Yep. And now there's no way, there's a 0% chance that SuperNova can lose to a push.
SuperNova for now, just throwing down extra barracks to be able to really ramp up that macro as soon as he wants to be able to take that third. Even, oh, I love the siege tank positioning here on the middle, between the second and third as well. It's very, very difficult to be able to break that location there from the Zerg. And Alien's just chilling out in the middle of the map for now. Did get a little bit tickled there.
I'm curious how VortiX thinks he's going to be able to go into the long-term game. I mean, in a sense, he might just think, yeah, I'm totally screwed, but just be playing it out for the sake of playing it out.
Yeah. And for now, the Hellions still overextending maybe just a little bit there, getting a few Zerg kills, but not really enough to warrant their deaths. And for now, VortiX has lost quite a lot in that unit loss tab, a little bit more than SuperNova here, and, you know, considering both players have mined exactly the same amount pretty much, it's not too easy. Actually, no, with the Mules, I think SuperNova might have mined a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, VortiX is going to try to get into some good position with this, but I honestly feel like he'll just move forward, get one shot of damage, and then just pull right back.
Yeah. For now, more Roaches being added on here, plus 2-2 going down for VortiX. He might just be trying to hit this 2-2 timing, actually. I mean, he's gotten an expansion on the way, yes. And he actually will push in here. Stim goes down to try and thwart this, but there's so many banelings flooding in.
Oh,
the small
tank's just wrecking the baneling count. Hardly anything connects. SuperNova will be able to just destroy this with some basic stutter step control. And there, see you later, force push. SuperNova's now getting ready to go into a little harassment mode.
Oh, VortiX making so many lings once again, throwing down that infestation pit here. It still seems as if he wants to be aggressive, but again, with the siege tanks positioned where they were, it's so difficult as a Zerg to be able to break that.
SuperNova, again, having the Marines there ready. I mean, VortiX just put up an incredible fight in this series, but SuperNova is just so resilient, now putting the pressure back on VortiX.
Yep, as he continues that little harassment here. 4 workers killed right now for SuperNova, not anything too major just yet, and is forced to pick up once again, but he's 30 supply ahead of VortiX right now. VortiX just going back to droning as he's at 58 drones to the 65 SCVs here. So SuperNova looking really, really good in game number 3.
Up in mid-map, SuperNova now knows that he's going to be able to seize up map control. VortiX adding on these 2 refineries, and SuperNova is really doing a timely job with these drops. This is right when he wants to push. This is right when VortiX wants to be in the middle of the map, preventing Terran from walking out. But look at Terran literally marching right to the front door of VortiX. Oh gosh, the worst place to be in as a Zerg.
Oh dear me, this is looking really, really bad for him indeed here. Those siege tanks have got really nice positions, just spread out so well here. And that one right in that top corner next against that ramp is so difficult to break. Baneling is going to roll forward to try and connect, and actually they did connect with a little bit of that bio down on the south side, but so many Marines still alive here, going to rip apart that Roach count, and this third is totally vulnerable now.
Zerglings in production. Roaches pop out, weaken tanks at the front, but still no huge damage dealer like a fungal growth or a baneling blast. SuperNova just sieged up, slowly eating away.
The really nice fungal there actually to be able to seal off a lot of that bio. These Zerglings are actually able to close the gap. They popped just at the right time there, so VortiX will hold for now.
I mean, VortiX is holding on, but VortiX is in a bad, bad position. There's a giant doom drop of medevacs trying to find a home somewhere in the middle of the map. VortiX is... It's almost funny the way that VortiX has basically gone, I'm all in. Nah, I'm going to drone up a little bit. All right, I'm all in. Nah, let me drone a little bit more. And amazingly has whatever it is that he needs to hold off and push at the time. Another stutter, all those units, but SuperNova just has too much.
I don't really know if he's going to be able to hold this. Fungals have to be absolutely pristine here. He throws down one. It's a little bit of a waste to get that little bit of an bioforce there. And these siege tanks doing a lot of damage. GG, well played. SuperNova will finish #1 in Group D. Congratulations to him. Day 9. Wowie, wow, wow.
Well, we certainly saw that VortiX can take out the best of the best in 2 epic games, but in that game number 3, we found out what goes wrong when you try to metagame your opponent and you're just a little bit off on your read. I mean, VortiX, I would honestly say that 90% of Terrans are going for some variant on a 3 command center Hellion play. The Hellion Banshee is so strong. VortiX's push was perfect for killing that off, but didn't work. So that means that we have all the players known from all qualifier groups. Group D, those people are SuperNova in first, VortiX in second, and MC in third.
Yep, so, and just coming to Group A, we have Nurture, 4GG, sort of, and then B, we do have MVP, Violet, and Cass.
Group C, I'm surprised with the results of Bomber, Slivko, and Elfie being in the top 3 in that order. So in the qualifying groups, it looks like there are only 2 Pronosses again, Elfie and MC. All the rest is actually mostly Terrans, it appears. 4GG, MVP, Cass, Bomber, and SuperNova. The other 5 will be those Zergs. And of course, in celebration of SuperNova's win, people want signatures from MC.
Yep, why not? I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. But they'll be good for SuperNovas as well. He showed a really, really phenomenal game, as did VortiX as well. No doubt they'll be wanting his signature. And we'll be seeing these guys all tomorrow in that group, in that bracket. And again, this bracket is actually shaping up to be absolutely ridiculous.
So we will be signing out for the evening. I hope you enjoyed day 3 of IEM GamesCom number 3. So before we do any of the official closing out ceremonies, we're going to throw it up to the main stage with Jared.
And I am here with the winner and most dominant player so far of the tournament, MTW SuperNova. When MC wins a lot, he's been known to often credit his manager as being a great manager. Do you also credit your manager for your success?
너도 지금 민철이는 그 매니저 때문에 우승 많이 한다고 하는데 너도 매니저 때문에 잘하는지?
네, MTW가 좀 잘 챙겨줘가지고 좀 게임에만 전념할 수 있어서 이렇게 성적이 잘 나오는 것 같아요.
Well, actually, I mean, he just joined MTW, and MTW is taking really, really good care of him, and he can focus on his game. So he thinks that's one of the reasons he's like playing so well.
Great. And now that you've got a bye in the playoffs, you finished first in the groups, do you have any opponent that you would prefer to face when you get there?
너 지금 1등으로 올라왔는데 너가 여기 올라온 선수 중에서 누구 무서운 선수 있는지, 그냥 안 만나고 싶은 선수 있는지?
딱히 무서운 선수는 없고 아무나 다 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
Well, there's no one that he fears, and he thinks he can beat anyone.
Well, it looks that way. I'll be totally honest. Your play today was unbelievably good. I am so impressed, and everybody here was so impressed. Very well played. Good game. Get a good sleep, and come back and show us that play again, please. Thank you.
잘 자고 그냥 내일 경기 잘 보여주라고.
Do you want to say anything to anybody before you go?
I love you, my fans. Yeah.
Yeah. And that concludes day 3 of the Intel Extreme Masters Gamescom. Please come back tomorrow when the playoffs start and we see more play like what we saw today from this guy. Out of this world. It's going to be amazing. I'll see you then.